Welcome to Conscious Coupling, where Frederick Gobet and Christy Whitman share their experiences of creating a conscious, connected relationship. Every week, they give practical tools, steps, and processes to help you find the loving connection with your partner. Let's get into today's conversation with Frederick and Christy.
Hey, babe.
What?
I got your phone from the car.
Thanks.
That was kind of an ouch. Why are you laughing?
Because this actually happened last week. And I was like, you know what? We got to talk about snapping. Because what I did is like, wow, he ouched. You know, he said ouch. And I'm like, why did I snap? So I realized I was in the middle of doing something. And I was panicking because all of a sudden I didn't find my phone because I was reaching for my phone to take a picture of something. And in my thoughts, I'm thinking, where's my phone? And then he's like, hey, hun. And that was just another thing. Like, it was like full tilt. And I'm like, what? And he's like, wow, you know, ouch. And he's like, I have your phone. I brought it from the car. And I'm like, oh, thank you, right? So we were talking about it, how that could have played out differently. Instead of saying, hey, babe, or hey, love, you know, just go in saying, here's your phone. And then I would have been like, you know, digging through my purse going, oh God, where's my phone? If he goes, here's your phone, I'd be like, oh, awesome, right? So it's sometimes the extra, hey, babe, like we're in the car with the kids and it could be like, hey, mom. It's like, you don't have to say, hey, mom. Just go, there's a dog. Hey, mom, there's a dog, right? It's like, hey, mom. It's like, you get taken out of your thoughts. Now, for me to say that, I'm asking him to change in order for me to be happy. So I don't want to approach it from that place. So for me, I had to look at what was the snapping about. In the moment, I was feeling like, oh God, where's my phone? Did I leave it in Prescott? It was that kind of feeling. So I was in a disconnected place. I was in fear. I was in whatever, frustration. We had also spent a long weekend doing soccer games and that kind of stuff. I was tired. I just wanted to go home.
Being in a room with the kids.
Exactly.
Sleep was very short.
Exactly. So here's the formula if you find yourself snapping at your partner. First thing you have to ask is, okay, I snapped at him. What's going on within me? That's the first question. What's happening within me? Slowing down enough to go, what's happening within me? I snapped at him. Am I angry with him? I checked in with myself. I'm like, no, I have no anger or nothing. There's nothing unresolved with him right now. And so that's the second question, right? What's going on within me is the first. What am I feeling towards him? Am I angry, frustrated? Did he do something? Am I interpreting that he did something? Is it about him? And then when you realize that, no, it's not, and it could be. So I'm gonna take you down both places. If it's a no, then what else is it? And I'm like, so why did I snap? What's going on? Well, I was in a little bit of a panic moment, right? But I'm also tired. And it's time for some self-care. It's time for some downtime. I've been up going with the kids all weekend, soccer games, this whole thing. I need Christy time. I need to relax, So it's like realizing and asking yourself, that's the fourth thing. What do I need? What's going on within me that I need something, right?
And this is part of the couple work that we do, is knowing how to realize that you need to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the awareness that we want to bring into lives of other couples, is that it's okay before we get to this frustration point where we explode. It's okay to look at inside what's going on and be able to say, oh my God, I'm a little bit stressed. I've had a really rough 2 days or rough week, and you know what? Talk to your partner and say, can I have your support? Because right now I'm really not good. I'm not going to be good with the words that I choose, or
not skillful.
I'm not skillful, and I think I need a little bit of a moment to myself, so that I can kind of recharge the battery and come back to more of a joyful person. And it's okay to say that, but often it's realizing that and what's the work that is involved into realizing and knowing that conversation needs to happen with your partner before there's frustration that comes out.
Absolutely.
And that's the work that we do with couples.
Absolutely. So to wrap it up, if you're not angry at your partner, so you find yourself doing something, you snap, right? You just And it could go both ways. It's not just a woman thing. It's, you know, the men can snap at the woman too. Whatever is happening where the reaction or what you're giving back as a, you know, a response is kind of biting, that kind of snapping, then go within yourself and say, okay, why am I snapping? What's going on within me, right? Am I angry at this person? If it's a no, what's going on within me? If it's a yes, right? Yeah, I am angry at him. Okay, what are you angry at him about? You know, go into your emotions. We're going to do future episodes where we can really help you process your emotions. But it's really being clear that I'm feeling frustrated right now. He said something to me that really hurt me, or his timing was off today in mentioning something to me, or I said something to him and he didn't acknowledge me for it. Whatever was happening, whatever you're perceiving, something bad happened or you're upset in whatever way, doesn't matter what it is, there's emotions there, and you have to process your own emotions first before you communicate it to him, or what's going to come out is the snap that you just did is going to come out as a roar. Rah!
Right. So and it's going to be kind of like attacking, right? Again, it's going to be a you message. You did this to me because now I feel like I'm the one that's responsible for doing everything or whatever. And so we want to make sure that you take care of yourself first, and then you can have that conversation. That's what we do often, is that we'll say to each other, one of us will come to the other and say, hey, I need to talk to you about what happened, yesterday. Can we just spend 5 minutes and talk about what had happened with that situation? And we kind of talked about it, that snappy situation.
With the cell phone kind of thing.
With the cell phone, and we came to an agreement. Okay, how could it have been a little better? There was also an apology. I heard her, she heard me, and I felt that I was heard in my ouch, and she felt like that she was heard also in the fact that she had a lot going on in her head, right? And
I was feeling tired
right.
and all that. But the point is that simple thing, that snapping, could create a big argument if that awareness isn't there.
And big conflict.
So, yeah, and become a conflict, become a thing, right? So what he did when he's like, ouch, babe, I just have your phone, and it was like, I'm sorry, I snapped at you, I apologize, right? And it was good after the fact. Now that I got rest, I've taken care of myself. Okay, so there was that moment of snapping. Is it a big deal?
What was that all about?
But what was that all about? And it's like, well, if I could have it in my perfect way, right? If in my ideal world, if I'm digging through something, if you see I'm preoccupied, instead of going, hey, babe, which is just one more thing that now I've got to pay attention to or put my attention on, just go, here's your phone. Oh, right? And then that way it's like, okay, cool. Thank you so much, right? And so that was kind of our fix for in the future. It's a in the future conversation. Right. So it's a future forward conversation of this happened. It didn't feel good to either one of us. I'll work on my part of it. He was brilliant in what he did because he didn't take it personally. He didn't get defensive. He didn't get mad at me. It was just ouch, I keep bringing in your phone. And it's like, oh, sorry, right? So he didn't take it personally, he didn't take it on. Had he, because he hadn't done his own inner work, it could have elevated. But then because we are conscious in our coupling and we want to stay connected and we want to stay loving with each other, it's like in the future, for that future thing to happen, there was no argument about it, what happened. Nobody was, making the other person wrong for what happened. He didn't try to berate me because I snapped at him. It was just in the future, what could I have done differently? To get, and I said, well, honestly, it probably would have been a different reaction if you see me rooting around on something, you see I'm involved in something, instead of the words, hey babe, or hey love, or, mom, or, any of that stuff, just give me or say to me what you need to say to me that will help me in that moment if that's what you're trying to do. So it's good to have those discussions. Moving forward, I would prefer you say this to me, or moving forward, next time do this, or could you try this next time, so that you're moving, that your relationship is improving, because every incident that you have or every interaction that you have, it's like, ooh, that felt good or it didn't feel good, and it's really an opportunity. This relationship is an opportunity to look at what's the contrast, what are things I don't like or don't prefer, And what would I prefer instead? And that's what we talk about doing individual work in our couples retreats and online workshops and stuff, is that I get to be Christy and I get to say, that doesn't feel good to me, but this would, right? And he gets to say, that doesn't feel good to me, but this would. As a couple, we don't like to feel this way. We're like to be in this situation. This feels better. And so we're always molding the clay. We're always, creating and our relationship, which is a third entity. There's Christy, Frederick, and then there's this third entity called a relationship. We're able to move it and direct it in the way that we want it to go, in the energy that we want it to flow in.
Right, because it's evolving, just like us. We are evolving as we grow older, more mature, wiser. The relationship also is growing and evolving, just like us. And there's some interests, there's some things that we like, there's some things that we don't like anymore. So that has to come out as well. I've heard I had a saying that I learned with Karen, that make sure that what you talk about comes out as your true feelings. Be true to what you say. Be true to yourself. So that's another situation where you look within and you talk about, all right, this is what I like now. Maybe it was perfect before, the way you were 5 years, 10 years ago, but now it has changed. So mention it to your partner. Your partner cannot guess what's going on with you. That's why we need to be true with our feelings, with our emotions, with the things that we say and communicate to each other.
Absolutely. So the steps for today really are, if you are having some kind of reactive, snapping, experience in your relationships, either way or both ways, each one of you has to really come within yourself and figure out what is going on within you, and not be willing to continue that behavior, because it will deteriorate the relationship. It won't help you stay connected. It won't help you stay in a loving space. So be willing to look within, take time for yourself, even if it's just for a moment, and ask yourself, what's going on within me? What am I needing that I'm not getting? Maybe I'm tired and I need to take a nap. Maybe I'm needing to take a day off and go do a spa day, or maybe I'm needing time by myself or with my buddies to go golfing. It's like, what am I needing in life? Especially if you are parents, everybody's got busy lives, but if you're parents and you got animals and all this kind of stuff, everybody needs a break just for themselves every once in a while, and be willing to give that to yourself. And then, of course, communicate what your needs are from the I prefer this, I would really appreciate. And not to ask permission. That's going to be an episode that we talk next week, as you don't have to ask for permission, but be able to communicate in a way that you're really sharing what you prefer and need.
What do you want?
Yeah. What do you want?
I want this, so therefore I'm going to take care of myself for this amount of time, for this day and this time, and does that work with your schedule? Then perfect. Let's do it.
We'll get into that next week. But so for this week, just watch your own reactions. And if you're having reactions, remember they're your reactions. And the only one that can change your reactions are you. And just let those reactions inform you about what's going on inside of you. So have an amazing week, everyone, and enjoy your couples.
Yes, enjoy your week. This week at WrestleMania 65, I'm going to dare you.
Christy come walking over you.
Oh my God, I love you.
Are we rolling?
Thanks for listening to Conscious Coupling with Frederick Gobet and Christy Whitman. If you like our show and want to know more, check out ChristyWhitman.com. And please leave us a review on iTunes. Learn how to turn your partner into your soulmate. Join us again next week for another powerful episode.